they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. With my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda's swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. With my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda's swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. With my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda's swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Hello, Juju, Deronda, We the People, Claudette, Aquarius Rising. Okay, let's get into it. Chilly Willy from Philly. All right. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I see you, Millicent. Okay. Anonymous Void is in the virtual building. All right. Nessa G. Okay. Emperor Rex, Quiet Storm, Desmond. All right. So shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Trisha. Now, with that all being said, before we get into it, let's have a brief word from our sponsor at 12 Tribes. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Kratz. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, so now let's get into it because Trump is just, he's losing it clearly. He gave this speech today and he was acting so ridiculous. It was just pathetic. Okay, but anyway, another thing that I noticed is, listen to this. Let me go to this clip real quick. because Trump is so disrespectful. Now, I showed you this morning, and if you missed the morning broadcast, please go back and watch at your leisure. But I showed you all this morning how he crossed over in front of Queen Camilla and just, blocked King Charles from giving handshakes to the administration. But I saw this clip, and he had the nerve to call King Charles by his first name. He called this man Charles. I absolutely cannot with Trump. Okay, who does he think he is? He has no moral fortitude, no ethics, he doesn't even know how to be respectful, in my opinion.
Congratulate Charles on having made a fantastic speech today at Congress. He got the Democrats to stand. I've never been able to do that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They liked him more than they've ever liked any Republican or Democrat, actually. So I just want to thank you and congratulations. It's not an easy thing to do. That's a tough place.
What a numbskull. Okay, y'all hear that? Don't call the man Charles. Honey, put some respect on that man's name. Absolutely nefarious. Okay. And so that all being said, let's continue because there was quite a little crowd for his speech today. Aquarius Rising said Donald Trump's voice makes me itch, makes my ears itch. Well, I can certainly understand why, beloved.
You got back just in time, just before we started. You got back just in time, just before we started.
So there's all his MAGA cult members. Then he had the nerve to tell them that those of us who say that Iran is winning the war are treasonous. Honey, Trump is the last person who needs to mention the term treason, okay, as far as I'm concerned. Is he serious?
As well in Iran, but I don't like talking about it until the jobs are finished. Let's not talk about anything until it gets finished. But think of it, their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their whole place is gone. And then we get people to say that we're not winning. We get the radical left to say, we're not winning. We're not winning. They don't have any military left. It's unbelievable. It's actually, I believe it's treasonous. Okay, you want to know the truth? It's treasonous.
First of all, he's always talking about the radical left. What about the radical right? And at the end of the day, some of his own MAGA cult members are saying that they're losing, okay? And even if they were winning, we're all losing collectively, okay, as a society. All right, with these high prices. Is Trump serious? The only one winning is him financially with the whole grift of it all.
They got one good line of bullshit. That's one thing I'll say about it. They are so bad. They are so bad. It's true. Affordability. It's the first time I heard the word. I'm 2 days in, and I watch his sleazebag, one of these crazy congressmen, get up, and he's being interviewed. He said, affordability, prices are too high. I've just got there. But
just listen to the way he talks. So unpresidential. Just cursing and carrying on. So uncouth. But let me continue.
turn up the microphone, will you, please? I hate it. You pay these guys a lot of money, and then you get up and the mic isn't on properly. And then they want their money, and I don't believe in paying people to do a bad job. I only like to pay people. I pay early. And I'm screaming my ass off because the mic is no good. Turn the mic up, please. Tell them to turn up the.
Do y'all hear this clown? This is your president speaking. And listen, I find it so interesting when he says that he doesn't like to pay people who don't do a good job and that he pays early. No, he doesn't. How many times have we heard, how many reports have come out where they've absolutely said that Trump did not pay people for their services? Okay, he doesn't pay people. He's had rallies where he didn't pay the owners of the venue. Okay, allegedly. They've said this plenty of times. Okay, and this is probably one of the lame brain excuses that he'll come up with so that he doesn't have to pay. Talking about turn the microphone up, sit down somewhere. Oh, nefarious. Danger said so annoying. Exactly.
Now, I want you guys to imagine, like, you end up meeting the President of the United States of America. You're cheering him on. And what does he do in response?
This room of geniuses. He said, I'm in a room of dumb people. That was not good. That was not good. You know what happened to him after that? It wasn't a pretty, but I'm in a room of brilliant people, but a lot of you wouldn't have been able to answer those 10 questions.
Did you catch that?
But a lot of you wouldn't have been able to answer those 10 questions.
Yeah, that's right. So he ended up calling his own supporters idiots, stating that there are people in that room, that same room that he is currently in, that he was speaking in, that could not even pass a cognitive test, the same test that he was able to pass. Let me know your thoughts over in the comments, because I don't believe that there has been anyone in the history of the United States of America who ended up becoming president that ended up talking down on their very own supporters as much as Donald Trump has. Let me know your thoughts.
Well, at the end of the day, he told no lies. Okay, his supporters are dumb. As dumb as a box of rocks. Okay, period. Okay, period. And especially the ones that are still supporting him after all of the BS and the lies, okay? And the hypocrisy of it all.
If you can't get a deal on Iran, what next? What will you do?
Well, right now we have negotiations going on. They're not getting there. They are very disjointed. They're extremely disjointed. They're not able to get along with each other as leaders. They don't know who the leader is. Their military has been defeated. If we left right now, it would take them 20 years to build back that country. But we're not satisfied at this moment.
Are you considering new strikes on Iran?
Why would I tell you that?
Mr.
First of all, if you've already won the war, why would you still be at war? Okay, especially when you only had a 60-day deadline. Okay, like sit down somewhere. And then he says they're not getting along. They don't even know who their leader is. Well, if they weren't getting along, how would he know that? Again, who told him? Did someone send him a memo or an email? I have several questions. Okay, I mean, the lies just keep coming. Please pay attention. Cassandra said he's talking about himself. Okay.
You may have heard today that President Trump said that the war with Iran has been, quote, terminated. Yes, he did say that. He said that in a letter to the Speaker of the House. Terminated, but not over. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, why he said it was terminated. Well, today he faced a big deadline. Today is the 60th day of the war. And under the War Powers Act, a president must get congressional authorization for any military action that goes beyond 60 days. So today's that deadline. If you tell Congress that the war has been terminated, there's nothing to be approved. But here's something else. I spoke to the president out with all the reporters on the South Lawn today as he was preparing to leave on Marine One. And I asked him about the deadline. He made it very clear he does not think it's a deadline that he needs to follow. Take a listen. Mr. President, it's day 60. Are you going to seek congressional authorization?
So many presidents, as you know, have gone and exceeded it. It's never been used. It's never been adhered to, and every other president considered it totally unconstitutional, and we agree with that.
By the way, he's not entirely wrong about other presidents. Some have abided by the War Powers Act. Others have blown by deadlines set by the War Powers Act. So he's not wrong about that. But is the war over? Not by a long shot. In fact, the president himself made that clear as he was talking to reporters out there. He said that he's looking at two options regarding Iran. The first option is to blast the hell out of them so they're gone forever. That is not sounding like a terminated war. It's certainly not a war that's over. The other option is a deal, getting a deal. But he also said that he's unhappy with the proposal that Iran has made, the latest proposal. The deal, in other words, negotiations are deadlocked, quite deadlocked. And look at what's going on in the Middle East. 50,000 U.S. troops are still there, 2 aircraft carriers, part of a naval force of some 20 warships. And that embargo, that blockade of Iran is in full force, itself an act of war. We are blocking, the U.S. Navy is blocking any ships coming in or out of Iran. So a war that is terminated? Well, that's what he told the Speaker of the House, but it is not a war.
Exactly, not by a long shot. Trump says he considers the War Powers Act unconstitutional. Okay, he says it's unconstitutional. Since when does he care about the Constitution is what I'd like to know.
It's day 60. Are you going to seek congressional authorization for...
Well, no other country has ever done it. It's never been, as you know, most people consider it totally unconstitutional. Also, we had a ceasefire, so that gives you additional time. But no other country's done it. We're in the midst of a big victory. This is a victory like we haven't had since Venezuela, okay, to be honest with you. We haven't had, but, you know, we have a country that lost its way. It really lost its way. That's our country in terms of the military. So many presidents, as you know, have gone and exceeded it. It's never been used. It's never been adhered to, and every other president considered.
Sit down somewhere. So we're going to talk about this whistleblower that has come out and basically said that the lawsuit, or I'm sorry, the criminal charges that they have filed against the SPLC is basically a whole load of BS.
I think Trump is about to strike Iran, and I think it's going to happen soon. Listen, he's having meetings with his war cabinet. They laying out all type of options for him. They having conversations about short range, long range missiles, infrastructures, taking over parts of the Strait of Hormuz. They about to push this to another level, and they got to, because every day this war goes on, people are losing fucking money all around the globe. Listen to what I'm telling you. He'll come out in front of this camera and tell you that the United States done won this war. He's saying that he's financially strangling Iran. Iran comes back and said, we can wait it out as long as y'all can. And as you can see, when you ride by these gas pumps, you see the price on that shit. All around this country, all the gas is up at $4. Every day this shit goes on 20 to 30 cents a day. That's how much gas is going up. If this continues and lasts for another 3-4 motherfucking months, gas gonna be at $15, man. Listen to what I'm telling y'all, man. I think he's getting desperate. I think he's finna do the unthinkable, and I believe something gonna come with this if he do what I think he's going to do. Listen to what I'm telling you, man. Pakistan, Iran, and a lot of them other countries, man, gonna join forces, man. Listen to what I'm telling you, man. The United States is gonna be stuck over there by themselves, man. They got them soldiers over there, and they ain't got them over there for nothing. And they getting closer and closer and closer to Iran. Trump gonna do a surprise attack. We'll probably wake up one of these mornings and see it all over the motherfucking news. But I'm gonna tell you something. You better stack up on your shit, because every day we getting closer. They giving y'all all these. They putting all these distractions out here, man, making y'all stay the fuck away from over that. They don't want you to pay attention to that war. That's what I'm telling you, man. Hey, you're gonna have more worse days than better days. Y'all step up.
Did y'all hear that? Now listen to this. Said in Pakistan has nuclear weapons too.
Has gone insane. The president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, has gone absolutely insane. Listen to this news because it's going to blow your mind up. Apparently, Trump allegedly was blocked from accessing nuclear code during the war with Iran when he said he's going to strike their nuclear power plants. And a lot of Iranians went to the nuclear power place to guide it, okay? Say, if you're going to strike our nuclear power plants, you better not start striking us. Apparently, it is now alleging that President Trump was blocked from accessing nuclear code during an emergency meeting in the White House, in the security briefing room. According to multiple recent reports, as of April 2026, today, 20th of 2026, President Donald Trump was denied access to nation nuclear code by General Dan Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, during the emergency White House meeting. Incidents reportedly occur amid escalating tension with Iran following the downing of U.S. aircraft by Iranian force earlier in April 2026. You remember the aircraft that America wanted to use to perform a grand invasion to go steal the Iranian uranium. Yes, that aircraft that they target as a rescue mission, but we all know from the evidence from the Iranian authority that it was a failed ground invasion in which the American ran off. Trump, retired CIA analyst Larry Johnson, made the claim during an appearance on YouTube program, Judging Freedom. You can go watch it yourself. He said one report coming out of that meeting at the White House is that President Trump wanted to use the nuclear code, and General Dan Kane stood up and said, no, he invoked his privilege as the head of military. So to speak, it was apparently quite a blown up. There are some very bizarre things going on in Washington, D.C. But this is where it gets even spicier because a few minutes ago, the senator, American Senator Douglas McGregor, just announced on X that the U.S. nuclear chief, Andrew Hank, has now been escorted out of Pentagon. The nuclear chief has now been escorted out of American Pentagon. If you don't know what Pentagon is, you shouldn't be on geopolitical news on my space, okay? So what does that tell you? That tells you that Trump was on the verge of using nuclear weapon or tactical nuclear weapon of some sort on Iran, because ground invasion is not going to lose, is not going to gain anything. America is going to lose the war if they perform any sort of ground invasion. So therefore, Trump was so depressed and so frustrated that he wanted to use a nuclear weapon. Do you know what this means? If Trump used a nuclear weapon on Iran, that means that every country in the world will have to go get a nuclear weapon, because apparently it's a deterrent. And if Trump used a nuclear weapon on Iran, what defense is stopping Russia from using a nuclear weapon on Ukraine? What defense is stopping China from using a nuclear weapon to get Taiwan? And what defense is going to stop North Korea from using a nuclear weapon on South Korea? But hey, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Okay, it's all crazy. That man was absolutely escorted out of there, but they claimed that he was escorted out because of some information that he spewed. Okay, on April the 21st, following undercover video footage released by the O'Keefe Media Group. Okay, they basically say that he was placed on administrative leave and escorted from the Pentagon. Now, in the video, he discussed sensitive national security topics, including chemical nerve agents, U.S. strikes, and nuclear launch procedures. The U.S. Army confirmed an investigation is underway. I do believe that I showed you all the video of him spilling the tea to some random woman in a restaurant or bar, no less. So anyway, with that all being said, everyone has evidence that Trump is lying. Yeah, absolutely. And then he said everyone's going to be getting nuclear weapons because as a deterrent. Exactly. Because just like RG Titan said, Pakistan has nuclear weapons. Yes, they do. They're one of 9 nations that do, and they have like 170, okay, nuclear capabilities. And that's basically as a deterrent to India. Okay, more specifically, Now, with that all being said, let's go to this next clip because Trump is a whole fool. And he absolutely should be kept away from the nuclear codes at all relevant times. Okay? At all times.
Apparently, the Iran war is over. Donald Trump just told the press like a minute ago. The White House asserts to Congress in a letter that the war is over in Iran. Now, it had to be over because the president can't continue to openly do a war for more than 60 days. And today was the 60-day mark, and he didn't get any funding to continue the war. He's going to just start, guys, before we take down those yellow ribbons tied around the old oak tree and think the soldiers are coming home. They're not. He's just going to start another special military operation. He just has to start over. So he's saying, okay, Operation Fuck Me Freedom or whatever he called it is over, and now we're doing another one.
But someone also said that there has been no exchange of fire between United States forces and Iran since April 7th.
That is true-ish. The problem is this also involves Israel, and Israel has continued to bomb Lebanon. Yes. So.
Tomato, tomato, right?
Tomato, tomato.
Okay, let's go to the next clip. Trump is the last person who needs to have any access to nuclear codes.
Possible to truly quantify how catastrophic this war has been for the people of Iran. But as of a few weeks ago, we now have a report from the Center for American Progress that compounds many of the human and environmental costs of this Iran war. Attacks on oil refineries from Tehran to Sharon to Karaj to Agdezeh turned existing smog from industrial emissions to a toxic haze that later became black rain. Residents immediately reported difficulty breathing, burning eyes, sore throats, dizziness, and cardiac triggers. And those are just the immediate effects. The latency of impact on these chemical compounds suspending in Tehran's air will be felt in years or even decades to come in health statistics. And according to the Iranian Red Crescent, 307 health, medical, and emergency facilities have been damaged from this war. Health facilities and medical supplies that was already stressed due to the protest crackdowns that happened earlier this year. More than 1,700 civilians have been killed in Iran by U.S.-Israeli airstrikes. That is likely an undercount because systematic documentation has been nearly impossible. The regime has still imposed an internet blackout in Iran where families cannot reach one another. Even just the psychological effects cannot be recorded. The United States and Israel just continues to exploit the plight of the Iranian people for their own imperial aims. But none of their actions have materially benefited Iranian.
Exactly, because that was never the hope. That was never the hope. That was just the excuse. Trump pretended that he cared about those people and he was trying to liberate them. That's all a load of BS. DSB just gifted the channel a membership. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. You all shout out DSB for being so generous. Okay, it's always nice and considerate when someone gives someone else a membership. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this clip from CBS. Trump is just a liar who lies. End of the day.
The oil will go down rapidly as soon as the war is over.
Even as gas prices shot up Thursday, President Trump promised relief.
As soon as the war's over, it'll drop like a rock. There's so much of it.
But U.S. gas prices have been climbing for 9 straight weeks, from an average of $2.98 a gallon in late February to $4.39 a gallon now. In Indiana, the price per gallon is up more than $1 in just 1 week.
At $5 a gallon, I about wilted like an old flower. It's bad.
The price hikes in a midterm election year are making some Republican lawmakers nervous.
It's a real problem for affordability. It's also a big political problem.
Democrats intend to make Trump's handling of the war a major campaign issue.
He cannot explain how it will end, and he sure as hell cannot explain how it helps one single family here in the United States of America.
I'm looking at right now $75 a day in fuel alone.
In Minneapolis, rideshare driver Romeo Tillman says his numbers no longer add up.
We get anywhere beyond where we are right now, it's going to be catastrophic. These drivers right now are not even, none of us are making it at all.
The head of Meals on Wheels America said many volunteer drivers who pay for gas themselves may have to make some tough choices.
Meals on Wheels is a lifeline to a number of seniors across the country. And so to me, we are putting people's lives at risk if we aren't able to meet their basic needs.
When he was asked yesterday about the talks with Iran that seemed to be stalled, the president said only he and a couple of other people actually know the status. He insisted weeks ago that the two sides were actually very close to a deal, a claim that the other negotiators have not made.
Trump he's just ridiculous at this point. Okay, let's go to this last clip before we move on to another topic. I'm over it.
Trump just told reporters at the White House that these are the options on Iran. Quote, blast the hell out of them and finish them forever, or make a deal. I asked the president if he's considering new strikes on Iran. The president said, why would I tell you that? Then moments later, he said that he preferred not to blast the hell out of them, but called it, quote, the option. So the president also insists that Iran is dying to make a deal. But in the same breath, he also said it's unclear if they're ever going to meet his terms and that he's dissatisfied with their latest proposal. And meanwhile, all of this comes as we have now hit the 60-day mark for the war in Iran. And that means this is the deadline for the president to go to Congress to seek approval to continue using the military in this ongoing conflict. But the administration is now claiming that since that April 7th ceasefire, that the clock has been paused and that they don't need this authorization. Well, Democrats and even some Republicans disagree with that, but there's no way for Congress to compel the president to get their authorization.
I'll tell you what they can do. Don't give him any more funding. Okay, deny him funding for this nefarious war. That's what they can do. They need to stop acting like their damn hands are tied, like it's really ticking me off. I'm over it. I'm sick of the Republicans and the Democrats. Neither one of them are doing a damn thing.
States Marine, and I'm disgusted right now. What our greatest ally just did to the Global Summit Flotilla would have gotten any Marine that I served with court-martialed. And by greatest ally, I mean the one that we pay for. Right now, 58 boats from 49 countries with 1,000 people are on a mission to deliver aid to Gaza. As I'm recording this, our greatest ally intercepted 22 boats in international waters 600 miles from Gaza. That's not a blockade. That's piracy. But pirates without the cool hats. International waters means international law, and international law says you don't board civilian aid ships, period. They detained 200 civilians, jammed their comms, smashed their engines, and left the boat stranded in the path of a storm. Real humanitarian of them. In the Marines, we have this saying, Semper Fidelis, which means always faithful. And in keeping to that tradition, I stand with the Palestinians and the Global Summit Flotilla, because food, medicine, and shelter are human rights no matter what patch of land you're born on or what religion you practice or don't. Our governments failed us. Shocking, I know. The bare minimum they can do right now is guarantee safe passage, and the bare minimum we can do is speak up and get their asses moving. So here's your chance. I made a cheat sheet. The link is in my bio. Find your reps, call or email, copy and paste the script I provided. It takes 2 minutes. The boat's still sailing. They don't got 2 minutes to spare. And no, I don't do politics isn't going to cut it this time. Call your reps.
This is all just so nefarious at the end of the day, okay? It makes no sense. And these people look like they were so afraid too on those boats.
We've had flares set off, we've had high drone activity. As a flotilla, we have activated all safety protocols and we are now preparing for interception.
We have a killer military vessel very, very close to us. They've turned their lights off and we are all sat in the cockpit with our hands up, waiting for interception.
Please keep tracking us, condemn Israel, condemn anyone that you can to bring us back home safely and keep an eye on us.
Şu an esir aldıkları, yani ablukaya aldıkları arkadaşlardan bir haber alamadık. Bir şiddet uyguladılar mı? Herhangi bir darp yaptılar mı? O konu hakkında şu an net bir bilgi veremiyorum hocam. İsrail askerlerinin hukuku hiçe sayarak, hukuku yok sayarak canice bize saldırmaları bizi bu davadan vazgeçirmez. Bu bir şahsi mesele değil, din davası değil, siyasi dava değil. Bu bir insanlık davası.
Just all nefariousness, okay? At the end of the day, that man said it was not political, it's not religious, it's humanitarian, okay? At the end of the day, this is also low down and dirty. DSB just gifted the channel 5 more memberships. Thank you so much, beloved. I really, really appreciate you. Everyone, please shout out DSB. Okay, he's giving out these memberships.
This is the
Everyone
moment
should be
Israeli
thankful.
forces board an aid vessel heading to Gaza. The flotilla posted on X, Israeli military boats have illegally surrounded the flotilla in international waters and threatened kidnapping and violence.
Another chance to comply and seize attempts to breach the blockade. Should you not comply, the IDF will continue to board and stop your vessels from continuing.
The flotilla left Barcelona on April 12th, describing itself as a civilian intervention at a moment of escalating violence and humanitarian crisis, according to its website. A flotilla spokesperson told CNN there had been no confirmed detentions so far. Israel's foreign ministry called it a PR stunt flotilla and alleged they found condoms and drugs, a claim the flotilla spokesperson described as misinformation. This is the moment Israeli forces board an aid vessel heading to Gaza. The flotilla posted on X, Israeli military
Threatening kidnapping and all of that, okay? Bad enough getting on the boats, but then threatening to kidnap people.
To hear that the war has officially stopped between Iran, Israel, and the United States. Do you want to know why? And just so you know, keep in mind that both parties are funding Jared Kushner. But let me tell you why. And you really have to think outside the box to understand this one. So let's get this straight. I keep saying to you all, it's about control. It's about the plan of greater is not real. They need to show you that it is better for you to listen to them and obey them because they are able to provide you with all of the things much cheaper. Now, at the moment, because Saudi Arabia is one of the, or is the largest oil exporter in the world, the prices of oil are always around that same number. But now with the UAE leaving OPEC, they are going to start pumping a lot of more oil. So what is that going to do to the prices? That is going to reduce it. But who is going to benefit from this and who is leveraging this whole idea? So Israel and the United States need to show the world that what they have done in Iran was beneficial and that they are the ones who know and can show you the way. They are going to turn around and say to you, and especially to all of the people of the United States, and they're going to say, hey, we have ensured that there's a reduction in the petrol prices. But is Saudi Arabia going to accept this? No, they are not going to accept this. So what is this going to happen? It's going to happen and lead to divide and conquer, which I have also explained to you before. That is the tactic that they need to use, and they keep on using it and implementing it for all of their tactics to work. So the prices of petrol is going to go down. All of the people in the world, especially the Europeans and the Americans and all of those who are on the 50-50 line, are going to become Israeli supporters, USA supporters, because money makes the world go round. A big ass conflict is going to kick off between the UAE and Saudi Arabia. They are not saying it right now, but I am telling you, it is kicking off behind those closed doors. And whilst all this is going on, remember, Egypt signed, Jordan signed. The leader of Syria is a very good puppet of Donald J. Trump. Yes, Lebanon, the president of Lebanon is calling Hezbollah the tease, and he is willing to normalize with Israel. Go ahead, take all the land you want. While all this is happening and you are being distracted with the gas, the oil, and all that nonsense stuff, yes, Israel is going to expand. Iran is going to maintain a certain point of control. All theater bullshit. This war is about to end very, very, very soon between the USA and Israel and Iran. But you know who will always continue to resist? Yes, we Palestinians. Never forget.
Wow. I find it all interesting. Now, Blessed Child of Yah says, the world is a stage. Everything is intentional. They're all working together to start the new world. You know what? Yes, they absolutely are. I don't think that Iran is party to it, but I absolutely think that the rest of them are. Absolutely. Thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. And listen, you know, the UAE leaving OPEC, like I reported to you all on yesterday, is generally considered good for the U.S. economy because it absolutely will lead to increased global oil supply, lower gasoline prices, reduced inflation for consumers. Okay, so by freeing itself from production quotas, the UAE basically can increase its output from 3.6 million to about 5 million barrels per day. And this will be by 2027. And this is all going to weaken the cartel's influence. Okay, please pay attention. And so, yeah, that's what he said is absolutely accurate in my assessment. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this whistleblower revealing the Justice Department rushed the indictment for the civil rights group. Okay, the SPLC. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you.
There are serious concerns within the Department of Justice over the case brought against the Southern Poverty Law Center for their use of paid informants to infiltrate hate groups. That's according to a description of a whistleblower account obtained exclusively by my colleague Ken Delanian. From his reporting, quote, a senior Trump administration Justice Department official ordered federal prosecutors in Alabama to, quote, rush through a controversial indictment of the Southern Poverty Law Center, despite concerns about the strength of the case. The Justice Department did not respond to requests for comment. Members of Congress who received that whistleblower complaint are now demanding answers from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Alabama. They're requesting that they turn over records involving the case, as well as records of their own office's own use of the Southern Poverty Law Center's informants. Congressman Jamie Raskin writes this to the prosecutor accused of rushing the indictment. Quote, DOJ's exercising gaslighting by indictment requires America to bury its head in the sand and pretend the Southern Poverty Law Center's payments to infiltrate white nationalist groups were meant to support them, despite evidence to the contrary presented in this charging document. Joining our coverage and conversation, Justice and Intelligence reporter Ken Delanian, the reporter.
So let me say this. What it looks like is that the Trump administration, in their nefariousness, is basically punishing the SPLC for going against these white supremacist or wanton supremacist groups, okay, for exposing them, all right, and for infiltrating. So they're trying to act like, oh, they were using money to fund them to spew hate. Now, you know, at the beginning, I was like, I don't know if they're actually doing that or not, because you can never be too sure, because a lot of these organizations are just frauds. But there's actual proof that they were, in fact, working with the DOJ and the FBI and reporting to them the things that they found. So how are they doing anything fraudulent? How are they being deceptive and funding these people? It's no different than when the government infiltrates organizations, okay, and they spend money doing that, and they pay informants too. So I just find it all interesting, because what they're really trying to do is, you know, stop people from infiltrating, to deter groups from infiltrating or exposing these wanton supremacist groups. Okay, please pay attention.
Bylined on that reporting. The Rev Al and Tim are still here. Ken, this is remarkable. Tell us what we know about the whistleblower account.
Well, Nicole, it's interesting. My understanding and our reporting is that this kind of thing has happened a lot, actually, at the Justice Department during the Trump administration. In this case, we're getting a glimpse of the mechanics of it. You had a U.S. Attorney's Office in Alabama filled with career prosecutors and FBI agents. They've been investigating this case for some time. Apparently, there were concerns about whether to move forward with it for obvious reasons. Many, many independent legal experts have looked at this case and said it's not going to pass muster, in part because the Southern Poverty Law Center for years has worked with the FBI and the Justice Department and has passed on information gleaned from these informants about these hate groups. And so there were concerns within the office, and what happened was, according to this whistleblower account, a man named Akash Singh, who's an Associate Attorney General, who is known inside the Justice Department as Todd Blanche's enforcer, essentially, called up folks at the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Alabama and pressured them to move forward, again, according to this whistleblower account. And Singh has done this a lot, according to our reporting and the reporting of others. There's a really interesting profile of him in Bloomberg News, where he is openly known as the enforcer. He's the, if you're Todd Blanche or Pam Bondi before him, and you're at Main Justice, and you want U.S. attorneys' offices to do the bidding of Donald Trump, you need people to make that happen. There's a mechanics process to all this. And Akash Singh is one of those people that is not a household name, a young former prosecutor and former Republican Senate staffer who is making this happen, who is making pulling the levers of power, putting pressure on these U.S. attorneys' offices to do what Donald Trump wants. And in this case, according to the whistleblower account, he did that with the Middle District of Alabama. And, you have a U.S. attorney there who's an acting U.S. attorney who's not Senate confirmed. And so that gives Main Justice greater leverage over that. And we've seen time and again that people who resist these kinds of directives from Main Justice, they are pushed out of the way or fired. And so, again, this is happening time and again. And in this case, we got a glimpse of it through a whistleblower account sent to Congress, Nicole.
Ken Delaney, and what is the state of whistleblower protections right now in the second Trump term?
Well, it's interesting, Jared Wise, who is a former J6 defendant and who actually worked for a time at the FBI under the Trump administration, is no longer there. He posted on X above of my post of my story that there should be a leak investigation into this whistleblower. And that seemed to have gotten a lot of support within MAGA world. I don't think the protections for whistleblowers are very strong right now. People are taking a lot of risk by doing this. And there are a lot of, from our understanding, there are many, many leaks investigations and insider threat investigations, they call them, within the FBI, when there are stories that the Justice Department and the FBI don't like. Now, thankfully, we all have encryption. We have methods that we use to communicate with sources, and so does Congress, to try to avoid the prying eyes of people who want to expose our sources. But it's a disquieting time to do this kind of work on our end, and it's a very perilous time for people who want to blow the whistle on what they see as wrongdoing inside the Justice Department.
Ken Delaney, are you able to connect the dots to Todd Blanche's very public campaign to be made the permanent attorney general and these Russia indictments?
Oh, 100%. His aides are not even really making a secret of this. I mean, they're boasting about it, that Todd Blanche has more effectively juiced these cases that Donald Trump wants, whether it's this one or whether it's the Comey indictment, or there's an investigation of Cassidy Hutchinson that we're still waiting to see what's happening with that. Investigation of John Brennan. Todd Blanche has been, he brought in Joe DeGeneva to help breathe new life into that grand conspiracy investigation that's being run down in South Florida, the premise of which is so fantastical. When you say it, it just sounds bananas, that the idea that FBI agents and Justice Department officials, going back to the Mueller investigation, have been conspiring to break the law to deprive Donald Trump of his civil rights by investigating him and framing him, in this view, on all these various investigations and charges. And then it's all knitted together in a grand conspiracy. That's the premise. They have actual FBI agents and career prosecutors working on this investigation. And Todd Blanche is trying to push it forward because he knows that's what Donald Trump wants. He's been very intentional about that. It's part of an audition to become the permanent attorney general. But the thing about Todd Blanche's situation is, under the Vacancies Act, because he was the first assistant and he's been previously Senate confirmed, he can stay in the acting role for 210 days. And he can stay as long as his nomination, if Donald Trump nominates him, he can stay as long as that nomination is pending before the Senate. So he may be the acting attorney general for some time, Nicole.
This is all so draining, okay? When are we going to get some good news? This all sucks. Okay, so anyway, DSB says, let's show some love for our sister queen. She always is working so hard to bring us the raw truth. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words. It's good to feel appreciated, okay? I appreciate you, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you so much. Now, with that all being said, listen, I think it's a fair assessment to say that Trump is going after anybody who opposes him, anybody who opposes wanton supremacist views and values, this whole white nationalist Christian agenda and all of that. That's what he's doing, in my opinion. And, you know, Congress is sitting idly by and just letting him take the wheels and just go ahead about his business. I mean, I don't see anybody really trying to do much to stop him. Okay, I mean, let's not forget that 42 Democrats just agreed to allow him to spy on us. Okay, that's what they agreed to. Ro kind of exposed it. 42 of them, all sold out. So we can't trust either party as far as I'm concerned. And to what that guy was saying, the Palestinian guy who was talking about, you know, how they're funding Jared Kushner and how this is all about control and everything. One thing that he said that I always have been telling you guys is that absolutely the United States, their most powerful tool and weapon in their arsenal is divide and conquer. They are very successful at that. They keep up the division. They sow seeds of discord. That is the main thing that they do. Okay, and it's just so sad that people can't come together even when we all have the same common problems and the same common foe. You see, some of them just don't realize they have the same foe as us. Well, now MAGA, some of them have woken up, but most of them are not going to see it until it's too late. Okay, and I'm not saying that I want to unite with MAGA, because I don't. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, all of the oppressed people around the world should collectively have each other's backs. That's what I'm saying. All of the oppressed people should have each other's backs. But sadly, they don't. Now, with that all being said, let me go to a couple more clips that I shared on my X account. Hold on. This man says Black America is under attack. He's not lying, but aren't we always? It's nothing new. Just another walk in the park, as far as I'm concerned. That's right. Dialogue said true unity is the key to freedom. Exactly. And that's sadly what some people just don't get, beloved. And they're never going to get it, okay? You can't win the battle by yourself. That's all. You need allies, period.
There is something so insidious happening right now to the Black community, and most white people literally have no idea it's even happening. The Black community is under attack right now at a level we haven't seen probably since the Civil Rights era. You know, with the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act earlier today, you've got the purge of Black federal workers, attacks on nonprofit funding with the whole DEI boogeyman. You've got attacks on the social safety net. Overt racism is on the rise across the board. And they're tired, y'all. They are exhausted by this onslaught. And it's self-proclaimed white Christians leading the charge against them on all of these fronts. So if you are a white Christian and you are not deceived by Trump, we need to rally together around our Black brothers and sisters right now. We need to form a wall around them, and we need to say no more. No more, because this isn't right, and we cannot stand by and do nothing as they are getting absolutely pummeled like Reconstruction just ended or something.
Right, shout out to him for that. But here's the thing. We've always been under attack, okay? We're the source of everyone's disdain, it seems, okay? And that's just what it is. I've come to accept and don't expect anything more or less from the devils, period. Now, with that all being said, this young man right here hit the nail on the head. Shout out to him.
On social media. Let me know what y'all think about this.
So my previous speech got taken down for some odd fucking reason, and that's all good, but I'm about to re-record it again because the truth needs to be out there, and we need to stop lying to ourselves and pretending we don't see the pattern when it's right fucking there. It's right there, and everybody knows it, but nobody wants to say it out loud. So when a Latina gets angry, People call it spicy, sexy, ella es una tóxica, right? When a white woman gets angry, oh, poor Sally. Oh my gosh, poor her. She's just having such a bad day. Oh my gosh, she must be going through so much. Oh my gosh, poor her. When a white man gets angry, he's stressed, he hit his breaking point, he's having a bad day, it's mental health. But when a black woman gets angry, she's ghetto, she's ratchet, she's loud, she's aggressive, she's masculine, she's too much. When a black man shows anger, hurt, frustration, grief, or pain, now he's violent, now he's dangerous, now he's a threat, now people clutch their bags, people get scared, people cross the street. Now people reach for excuses to justify why they never wanted to understand him in the first place. And do not tell me it's about behavior, do not tell me it's about tone, do not tell me it's about how it's expressed, because the same emotions coming out of different bodies get labeled completely differently depending on the skin they're housed in. That is conditioning. That is not a coincidence, and that is not fair. Black pain is not allowed to be human pain in this society. It's only allowed to exist if it's quiet, palatable, digestible, and non-threatening to everybody else's comfort. The second it spills over, the second it raises its voice, the second it stops asking politely to be acknowledged, it gets criminalized, it gets demonized, and people want to talk about anger issues without ever talking about where that anger comes from. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about generations of trauma stacked on top of generations of trauma, stacked on top of generations of trauma, and then pretending the body, the nervous system, the psyche, and the soul are not keeping score. You don't get to enslave people, lynch people, beat people, rape people, eat people, segregate people, lock people out of resources, destabilize families, over-police communities, undereducate schools, poison neighborhoods, and then turn around and have the fucking audacity to say, why are they so angry? What the fuck do you mean, why are they so angry? That question alone is disrespectful as hell, because anger does not come out of nowhere. Intensity does not come out of nowhere. Pain does not come out of nowhere. What you are seeing is not aggression. You are seeing unprocessed grief. You're seeing suppressed rage. You are seeing pain that never had a safe place to land. And the psychological truth is that when trauma does not get expressed, it does not disappear. It compresses, it hardens, it builds pressure. So when it finally comes out, it does not come out softly, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly how trauma works. That is not a character flaw. Especially trauma that was never acknowledged, never protected, never held, never understood, never listened to, never given the safe space to express itself healthily, and never healed.
Let me know what y'all.
That is nothing but facts. Okay, that is nothing but absolute facts. No lies detected. Okay, no lies detected. And like I told you all earlier today, okay, I think it was today. But like in the Bible, it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. So if you are a black person living under oppression in the divided snakes of America with the KKK at the end, you should absolutely be mad. You have every reason, every right to. I don't give a damn what anyone says, okay? We're the most hated. And here's the thing. I find it interesting also that a few weeks ago, I showed you all a clip of an It's Not Real woman saying that the black youth were the problem. Okay, how are the black youth the problem for them? I'm glad you asked. Is it because they're saying that they're the real Israelites from the Bible? Is that why she was mad? I have several questions, but I absolutely think that's the problem. Okay. I absolutely think that's the problem. So everybody just pile on and go ahead and attack the black folk. Okay. And talk your talk and walk your walk. Okay. And all the other nefarious bullshit they do. Now, with that all being said, look at this lady right here. This lady right here is totally obtuse. She's a whole fool, a whole clown, a whole raccoon, in my opinion. And then she wants to try to warn the rest of us what not to do. Girl, you should have heard the call coming from inside your own house. You don't need to warn us because we already know how this goes. Now, check this out.
Y'all do not help those people that be standing in front of Target. If you live in Orlando, Florida, Target, anywhere, it's a group of them. What they call them people? The high BB people? Not to be rude, but I'm gonna show y'all.
Don't let these people fool y'all. Y'all, we just bought these people's cart full of groceries, and these people, don't let these people fool y'all.
They driving nice cars.
I'm about to follow them.
Yes.
No.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck. Come right here. Come right here. Come right here. But come right here.
No.
Come.
Me and my homegirl think we're doing a good deed. Mm-hmm. You know, these people, what they do is it's a scheme, y'all. This is what they do.
They dress up homeless, really not homeless.
Bring their baby, make their baby look dirty, and then after that, they make you buy them stuff. And whole time, they're not broke. They're polished. They look real good. They're well taken care of. They leave in a Benz. Don't let these people get you. They are well taken care of. They're not poor.
Girl, they didn't make you buy a darn thing. You did that of your own free will. You're the idiot. Okay, Lynn says, yes, sir. My whole family loves the queen. Thank you, beloved. And I love you all right, Black. Okay, thank you for your contribution to the channel and your kind words. I appreciate you. Now, I'm sorry, but she's the idiot, okay? First of all, they weren't dressed like they were homeless. They had on nice outfits. What looked homeless about them? Nothing, okay? And she's mad because they spent $100 buying them groceries only to see them driving off in Benzes and all of that. And then when she was talking trash, they flipped her off. Well, they should have flipped her off. She's a whole fool because I guarantee you, had that been Black folk, she wouldn't have given them a darn dime, okay? That's what she gets. Okay, that's exactly what that type of Negro gets. I feel nothing for her. She's a whole idiot and a whole clown. I guarantee if it was a Black person, like I said, she'd walk past them with her nose turned up. I wouldn't give them a darn thing. And at the end of the day, don't we know that those people have a history of not liking us? Please, make it all make sense. Remember how I had Dr. Shiva on here when he was running for president and I was uplifting him and all of that, had him on here only for weeks later for him to call Sabby Sabs a house Negro? Okay, basically a house ninja. Okay, please pay attention. All right, so sit down somewhere. How do you learn that for yourself? We don't need you to tell us. Okay, that's what we don't need you to do. And I'm not saying they're all like that, but I'm saying a good majority of them, a good amount of them, likely the majority, don't even like people who look like me. So why are you giving them money, you fool? Okay, at the end of the day, they have more money than you on the regular. And who in the hell ever put a 1 in the chat has ever seen a broke arse Indian? I'm sorry, I'll wait. 1 in the chat if you've ever seen a broke Indian or a homeless one. I don't see any ones, okay? I don't see any ones. So she's a whole fool. Like, girl, sit down somewhere. Now you're mad? Please. Please. Now, that all being said, let's continue. Now we're about to get into some bullshit. Now we're about to get into some bullshit for the last few minutes of this broadcast. Okay, I just want to cover this because I find it also interesting how some of these women, I don't know who they think they are. Okay, and here's the thing. I find it interesting that so many, we next says, I'm going to match that $50 and raise you $100. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. That is so kind and considerate. Okay. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, I want you all to pay attention because here's the thing. Some of these women, you know, they get upset when we call out other women who do nefarious things. For example, all of these Meg Thee Stallion fans got mad when people were calling her 304. Well, I'm sorry. Isn't she though? She's a 304 to me by the very definition. Okay, I don't care if she's famous or not. At the end of the day, here's the thing. Back in the day, you know, when I was growing up, my grandmother always taught us to be a lady, okay, to carry yourself as a lady and all of that. Now, these younger generation, okay, they want to go out here and ask men to spend all this money on them. They want to talk trash and put the men on blast when they don't. And they think the men are supposed to bring everything to the table while they bring nothing but their butt, okay, or something else. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But the end of the day is, okay, that's a hoe. That's what that is. That's a 304. So, and I'm not talking about Megan right now. I'm talking about in general. So what these women do is they get mad because hit dogs holler and you don't get offended by something unless it pertains to you, in my opinion. So these women who are mad about people going in on Meg Thee Stallion with the whole Klay Thompson situation, they're that same type of person. That's all that is. Now, because if you ask me, we could go in on Klay and Megan. Because like I said, didn't her ex-boyfriend do a song alluding to the fact that she cheated on him? So why is it no big deal when she did it, but everybody wants to go in on Klay when he did it? And then they want to sit there and try to do voodoo and witchcraft on the man and all of that. Okay, I find it also interesting. But with that all being said, let's go to this clip where this woman clearly is showing all the red flags. Okay, she's out on a date with this man, the first date, mind you, and look at the way she behaves. Okay, look at the way she behaves. Like some of these women are a whole hot mess. All right. At the end of the day, Juju B said not making a 304. Well, that's my definition of it as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, sleeping with all these different dudes, cheating with her, sleeping with her best friend's man. Who does that? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's 304. Okay, because there's something called girl code. And if you break that, then what does that make you? Just my 2 cents. But let's get a load of this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Why did you open the door for everybody?
What do you mean? It was 3 other women in front of us that just opened. They was ahead of us.
But you were supposed to open the door for me.
Are you? I'm opening the door for you right now.
Do it right now.
It was just open. What do you mean do it right?
You're just a friendly. You're too friendly.
I don't like how you talking to me though. I'm a grown
you're too
man.
Friendly.
But you're not gonna try to embarrass me out here in public.
Ain't nobody see us.
It was real simple.
Oh, don't make me mad.
Don't make you mad.
Do
It's
not
a
make
first
me mad.
date and you're getting upset because I opened the door for 3 other women.
How many did you say?
It was 3.
It should have been only me.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch a movie. You don't have to do anything. Matter of fact, you open the door yourself. How about that?
Are you crazy?
Rishi wants to know if he's serious. I absolutely cannot. Some people are so draining, okay? And they love recording these guys and posting it on live these days. I don't know what that's all about, trying to humiliate people and embarrass them, when in fact, you should be embarrassed of yourself, in my opinion.
Is suing this woman for texting.
Now, this guy right here is a whole weirdo, okay? Please pay attention. He's suing this lady for texting while they were on a date.
During their first date. No joke.
She was behaving as though this behavior was perfectly normal. So much so that I actually thought to myself, who does this?
Brandon Vesmar met Crystal Cruz on Bumble, the online dating site. He took her to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on Saturday night at this movie theater in Austin, Texas. Brandon paid $17.31 for each ticket. The date was going just fine until...
About 15 minutes into the movie, the phone comes out. It's text, text, text, read, read, read, text, text, text. I mean, it was nonstop.
My best friend texted me to make sure I was okay on my date. It was about a total of 3 texts.
Do you think your texting was obnoxious?
No, not at all.
But Brandon says he really got fed up.
I said, maybe you can take it outside. Like, I've seen people get kicked out of movies for things like this. Next thing I know, she says, I'll be right back, stands up, leans in, I'll be right back. Never saw her again.
Now, most guys would be like, whatever, not a good match, move on. But not Brandon. The next day, he sent Crystal a text demanding his $17.31 back.
Your behavior Saturday was not only rude, but it cost me money. I want you to compensate me for the $17 movie ticket. Will you do this, or do I have to pursue the money in small claims court?
I text him back, this is insane. I am not paying you back for the date. I laughed it off because I didn't believe that it would come to this.
But he meant it. Here's the paperwork Brandon just filed in small claims court demanding $17.31. He even claims Crystal's texting habit is a threat to civilized society. We thought we could help mediate, so our Megan Alexander brought Brandon and Crystal back to the movie theater where the date went south.
Crystal has something she wants to say to you.
What do you want to say, Crystal?
The date just didn't work out, and I will love to give you your $17.31 if you can just leave this alone.
I do accept the apology.
Here's your $17.
And the $17.31. Let's count it, right? Just to make sure it's all here. 10, 15, 16, 17, 31 cents. I appreciate this.
It's settled?
It's settled, man. Time to withdraw this court case. Absolutely. It's settled.
Don't bet on a second date for these two. Dude is...
Okay, that was beyond petty. That was absolutely beyond petty, okay? Please pay attention. Now, check out this clip. She asked this guy to meet for lunch and then gets mad at where he takes her. Okay, please pay attention.
Look at him. Y'all see this? Look at me. Y'all see how I look right now? This man that brought me on a date to Shake Shack. Like of all places, look at him.
Bro,
You got all them chains and stuff like that on your neck.
Just like that girl, but
She might have been wrong.
Shake Shack is nothing wrong. Then you order the chicken sandwich and stuff. Like, it's nothing wrong with Shake Shack. Shake Shack is a good spot. You tripping?
Really? So you could have took me nowhere else better than Shake Shack.
And Shake Shack is a good spot to go
I mean, this what you got me.
Any
That's
female
it.
would have loved to go to Shake Shack.
You got me 2 sandwiches and a drink.
So what? And it cost me $50 for just this.
This cost you $50.
$50. It cost me $50.
Let me see the receipt.
You ain't got to see the receipt. That's how much it costs. You act like you ungrateful. That's why I don't even like going on dates and stuff like that.
I mean, you be going out spending hundreds of thousands at the club and stuff like that. I don't see why I gotta come to Shake Shack.
But the thing about it is this is lunch. You feel me? You said let's go out for lunch. Surprise me, and I took you to Shake Shack. This is how you act.
And that's the best surprise you could have got. Go ahead, start recording. I'm already in there.
I'm gonna show the internet.
Yeah, show them.
You feel me?
Show them.
But you want to order like you still order like
Show
you want
them.
to eat. You still about to eat.
I ain't saying the food was nasty. I just said I wanted something else.
You wanted to go to what? Where you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I mean, shoot. I mean, right here in the South Side. I mean, all these fancy restaurants over here. We couldn't have got something that at least gave me some silverware.
We could have went that for dinner.
Okay, but check this out. Check this out though. Hold on.
Right
I'm about to prove a point though. Pick up your fork. Let me see your fork. Yeah.
That's how Shake Shack do it.
That's a fork.
This is how Shake Shack do it.
Okay.
This is how Shake Shack. It's just finger food.
Okay.
Like, you don't even need a fork. This is bougie. Like, that's bougie.
All right. Look at him. Y'all see this? Look at me. Y'all see?
She said, first of all, when she said, look at me, y'all see how I look right now? Girl, you look like you belong at Steak and Shake. Okay, please. What did she think? That she was killing the game? I mean, I have several questions if you ask the queen. All right. She looked like she was going to Steak and Shake. And furthermore, when he said he spent $50, he did. She had 2 sandwiches. I know good and well that's over $20. Okay, it's $20 at the very least. She had a drink. That's $3 more, and then he had about the same with fries. Okay, so that's every bit of $50. Okay, I've eaten at Steak and Shake, and the food there is good. Okay, I'm sorry. What is she talking about, honey? People are just too much these days, and like I said, she's trying to embarrass that man, but she should be embarrassed herself because she's the one that looks like a fool, not him. Okay, not him. And that man was handsome too. She should have been glad that he even took her out, honey, because she was not all of that. Okay, she was not all of that. Okay, please. All right, I'm sorry. Make it all make sense, but let's continue. Let's let's continue because I find it all so nefarious. Now let's go to this video where this guy says that the date he went on told him he was doing too much. Said he was doing too much. And he said he was so embarrassed. Okay, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one.
Y'all, I'm at the movies and my date just left me. I don't even know what to say. Like, y'all, I'm so embarrassed. Okay, long story short, we just started talking a few days ago on Tinder and we decided to go on a date. So, of course, I wanted to look nice, so I decided that I would go get a haircut, put on a new outfit and everything. And I was told that I was doing too much. It looks like I'm trying to do something that I'm not, inauthentic or something like that. I don't think I'm doing too much. Y'all tell me what y'all think, because I think I'm doing just enough. This is a first date, and yeah, let me know what y'all think. Hold on, let me show y'all. Yeah, y'all tell me if I'm doing too much.
Y'all think he was doing too much?
No, right? Like, this is a normal date outfit, no? I guess not.
Y'all think he was doing too much or not? What if he was doing too much? What if he was doing too much? I want to know what y'all thought about that outfit. Okay? Trisha says yes. Honey, he was clearly doing too much, okay? Like my best friend says, honey, he was doing all he could do. Honey, he was doing a little bit too much. But here's the thing, though. whether he was doing too much or not, the date shouldn't have left him. It wasn't that serious, was it? He was just trying to look nice. Okay, please pay attention. Look, I was doing too much last week. Okay, I went to that festival. Honey, my man told me to meet him at a festival, and when I got there, I was Honey, when I got there, I was wearing a silk blouse with black pants and my silver cowboy boots. Okay, now mind you, I didn't know it was going to be so much walking. He's like, why are you wearing sneakers? I was like, honey, I was trying to look cute. But not that he showed up looking like Frank Lucas, no less. Hold on. Look at this. This is how he showed up for a first date. So done. But listen, I can't even talk about that man seriously because, for one, I remember one time in my youth when I was like, Juju said, Queen, I know you have pictures I want to see. I didn't take pictures, honey, but I had on my silver cowboy boots, honey. I was looking cute, honey. Miss me with it. Now, he did say that I was dressed for the area of town we were in because we were in Little 5 Points, okay? That's how they're dressed over there. But anyway, over there, they be doing too much sometimes. But here's the thing. I actually went on a date one time. Anonymous Voice said that's a whole polar bear. Trisha said iceberg slim looking arse. Oh my God. Kiko Faletti said, Queen, did your silver boots have spurs? Juju said, I know you was killing it, honey. I was. Okay, he did tell me I look good. Okay, please pay attention. G Major said, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I know that's right, Queen. Thank you. That's what my mother always says. Okay, y'all better ask somebody. Honey, I have been dying to wear those silver boots. Please pay attention. I thought I was going to a hold down, no less. Darius said, Queen, did your feet hurt? No, but my back did. The boots are actually comfortable, but my back was hurt from all that walking. Honey, it was too much. That's when he said, why did you wear sneakers? Okay, y'all are too much. But let me tell y'all something. One time in my youth, like I said, I was about 19 or 20, and I went on a date with this guy. And honey, I borrowed my auntie's black fur coat. Honey, I was all dressed up looking like I was rich. Do you hear me? I had on my auntie's black fur coat. I was clearly doing too much. Sitting up there looking like Cookie from Empire. Okay. I find it all interesting, but let's continue. Let's go to this next one because this was hilarious. Now, this guy right here wants to know. He maybe said, where them fans at? Y'all are low down. And then he said, this is the best chat on YouTube. Isn't it though? Low down and nefarious. No, you didn't. Ashkan even went in on the Queen, saying Cruella de Vil style. God, the entire chat is clouding me. Y'all are so low down and dirty. Well, let's continue. Okay, now listen to this guy right here. He wants to know if we think that he was in the wrong. And y'all let me know what y'all think. Because I thought this was hilarious.
Please tell me if I'm in the wrong here.
Okay, you're in the wrong here. I guess I should probably watch the rest of the video. This is a little bit of a long one, though, so bear with it. because it's worth it at the end.
It was our first date, and I booked us a reservation at a really nice place. I pick her up, I drive us to the restaurant, I valet my car. I'm feeling good. The conversation is flowing. She's looking amazing. Everything is fantastic, right? We're drinking, we're talking, and we're discussing what we're going to order for dinner, right? But she was lying to my fucking face, right? Because 5 minutes later, when the waiter comes up to take our order, I'm blown away at what she decides to get. I put my order in the arancini and the bolognese, right? I'm looking at her. What are you going to get, right? She looks at the menu. You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to do the surf and turf, right? The steak and the lobster. And why don't we do the caviar specialty on the side, which is only an additional $85, right? She orders this, looks at the waiter. She goes, thank you so much. But when the food comes and we start eating, okay, and she takes 3 bites of her surf and turf and has a little scoop of caviar and then tells me that she's full, we could have split this at the very least, right? Why did you do a fucking curveball at the very last moment and order the most expensive thing on the menu to not even eat it, right? Because I finished my food entirely, right? And the waiter comes up to clear the plates and he starts to grab her. She's like, oh, you all done? You all done? She's like, yeah, all finished, right? He's grabbing everything. And so I'm like, oh, hold on. I think we can take this to go. She looks up at me, this girl I'm on a date with, like I just killed somebody. She goes, you're gonna take these to go? You want to eat leftovers? If you're gonna take that, I'm gonna take myself home. So I get the fucking leftovers. I'm like, all right, good, nice to meet you. Have a good night. I will see you never. And that's exactly what fucking happened. Because she refused to get in my car. I offered to drive her home, nothing. She called the Uber and went home, and that was the last I heard from her. I took her to a nice dinner. She ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. And what didn't get me a second date was because I took the food home for leftovers.
In the original video,
Now, do y'all think he was wrong for that? Do y'all think? Ashka said, I'm ashamed to say I'm on her side. I could go right and say, you better bet it. Okay. Claudette said, oh, well, bye, heifer. D Major said he sounds like a smart man. Listen, she ordered all that food and didn't eat it. I'd have taken it home too. Girl, are you serious right about that? I would have absolutely taken that food home too. I'm sorry, she didn't eat it, so I would. Okay, please pay attention.
comments are filled with people saying that he dodged a bullet, but I don't think that's true. You taking the leftovers home had nothing to do with the reason that you didn't get a second date. The reason is that energy of yours, like it's given off massive, like super angry, very mercurial, manic, like cokehead punch holes in the walls vibe. And I bet that energy just turned her off instantly. Also, the fact that she took an Uber home instead of letting you drive her home tells me that you were throwing up red flags from the second she got in your car. And they were just continuous, just constant red flags that she could not overlook. So when you guys got to the restaurant, she figured, all right, I have to do something about this. Now, if she was actually just looking for a free meal, she would have eaten the food, but she didn't, which tells me that she wanted the price tag to hurt because of what you had just put her through for the course of that date so far. It means that she had lost any modicum of respect that she had for you when she initially agreed to go on this date. You didn't dodge a bullet. She did. And this.
Now, I'm sorry. What do you all think about his version of the events? Do you all agree with him? Now, he thinks that the lady dodged a bullet and that the guy had too much hyper anger and all of that. I don't see that. I think that the reason she got upset, I think that she felt like he's a cheapskate. Okay, because even though she ordered all of that stuff, see, here's what I think. I think she purposely ordered the most expensive things on the menu, knowing good and well she wasn't going to eat them, just to see if he would complain about having to pay for it, because she was trying to gauge how willing he is to spend his money or how much money he has. And then when he asked for the leftovers, she was appalled because that made her think, oh, okay, he's spending the money, but he's clearly cheap because he's going to take it home to eat it. That's what I think. That's what I think. Ashka said, I don't know if that guy is qualified to say. I don't think he is either. I'm not listening to anyone with a green beard, okay? That's what I'm not doing. But at the end of the day, I think she was just trying to see if he would spend the money without complaining or whatever. Because why would you order all of that food and not eat it? What was the point? And then you get so mad because he took home the leftovers that you ride home in an Uber. Okay, please pay attention. I think she was just trying to see if he would spend the money, if he was a person who likes to spend money or has no problem. And she felt like he's a cheapskate because he took it home. That's my opinion. And that's just my 2 cents. I could be absolutely wrong. Mind you, I could be absolutely wrong. Now, let me promote this young lady's restaurant. This young lady is only 21 years old and she has her own restaurant. Okay, and she asked us to share, so I'm going to shout out to her. 21 years old, okay, and many of these 21-year-olds don't even know where they're going in life. They're out here just doing the wrong thing and all of that, being led astray by their nefarious friends and everything. So shout out to her.
Just opened up a restaurant in Houston. Can you please share this video so that people can hear about our restaurant? I'm 21. The restaurant's called Sienna Wings, and yeah, we make wings, mac and cheese, and fries. I love my restaurant. I love cooking. I just graduated from college. And my mom, she is my partner, and she does this with me. And yeah, I just really want to let people know that there's a new place in Missouri City on the south side that you can come and get really great wings. So please share if you can, and I would appreciate it. I just opened up a restaurant in Houston.
Okay, so bless her heart. Shout out to her and congratulations. As I said, now look at this right here. I want you all to see this video because this is just wrong in so many ways. And I'm trying to figure out who thinks this is funny because clearly he's trying to act like this was a joke, but it wasn't funny.
I don't care what nobody says, that man doesn't like her. And the forced laughter, the look on his face when he smashed that egg in her face, that he grit his teeth and did it, take the egg out of his hand. That's what he really wants to do. He really wants to smack you in your face. Pregnant with his baby or not, he does not like you. And some men use these so-called pranks as their excuse to be able to get away with behaving badly. But some of them, they've been wanting to do this. This has been what they've dreamed of. This is their only chance they can, quote unquote, hit you. You couldn't pay a man that truly loves you enough money to slap you in the face with an egg, enough money to humiliate you on camera. Some things a man that truly loves you would never do. Would never do. For a cheap laugh? Let me tell you why some men love pranking their wives and their girlfriends so much. It's their opportunity to disrespect you without any consequences. They could say it was just a joke. You're being too sensitive. I was just playing. They could try to laugh it off. But it's disrespect. Whether he thinks it's funny or not, it's disrespectful. And you can't let him get away with it, or it's only going to get worse from here. Some of these men are with you, but that doesn't mean they don't secretly and deep down hate you. Hate something about you. You could be his wife. You could be his, the mother of his children. I mean, that man doesn't like you because taking this opportunity to disrespect you and then film it, he wants the world to see this is how I treat her. What? I couldn't let it slide.
Okay, because that was absolutely nefarious. Now, if that was supposed to be a joke, I didn't see a darn thing about it that was funny. Okay, not at all. I didn't see anything about it that was funny. Hold on. I had this other clip. Hold on, beloveds. I want y'all to see this clip because this guy was talking about how much money someone spent on a date and acted as though that meant that he was entitled to certain things. And y'all know what kind of things I'm talking about, honey. Please pay attention. Hold on. And let me just tell you something for the record. When I was growing up, our mother always taught us to never let anyone put their hands on you as a joke, because all they're doing is sizing you up. Okay, they're either trying to embarrass and humiliate you and acting like it's a joke, or they're trying to size you up. Okay? Yeah, so people can't put their hands on me like hitting you, like when they're laughing and hitting you like it's so funny. No, don't touch me. Okay? Don't touch me. Because if you put hands on me, I'm going to put hands back. Okay? Please pay attention. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, please don't tell me. Hold on, beloveds. It's not letting me pull this up. I think they want me to sign in. Well, nonetheless, I wanted to show you all this video because basically, hold on, I'll just let you hear it. Now you all listen to this.
It's not. Date number one was to a dinner place, and then date number one was to a dinner place, and then a concert afterwards. Date number two was to the Sphere to see The Wizard of Oz, and then they went to a lounge to have drinks and hors d'oeuvres. The combination of those two dates is well over $1,000, and in return, what he got from her, he got a kiss on the cheek and a hug after the second date. If you think that's appropriate, I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's not appropriate. And if you do that, you too will be sitting at home. Don't worry, another woman knows what to do, and she'll pick up right where you left off.
Okay, I find that interesting. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He says that this guy spent over $1,000 on the date, and at the end of it, all he got was a peck on the cheek. Sir, what else was he supposed to get? Okay. What else did he need? Because he spent $1,000 on a date, that was his choice. You see, if he wanted a lady of the evening, he could have taken that money and gotten one for cheaper than $1,000. Okay, I hear the going rate's like $250. So I'm sorry, sir. Please sit down somewhere. Okay, no one's obligated to give you anything. Okay, because you spent a certain amount on a date. Okay, if you want to go get a lady of the evening, then do that. But don't come and take somebody out, spend money, and then expect something in return. I find it all nefarious, don't you? Okay, and that's what some of these men think. Just like that guy, remember that video I showed you guys where the guy flew the girl out? He said that he spent like $5,000 on the hotel, flying her out, and then taking her out and shopping or whatever. And then she got back to the hotel and didn't want to put out. Okay, well, and your point? Sir, you could have saved yourself a whole lot of money and trouble by just going to get you a lady of the evening. Okay, that's what you could have done. So, but you didn't do that. So don't get mad because nobody promised you anything. Okay, for services rendered. I find it all so interesting, don't y'all? Like, what's really going on here? What is really going on? Okay, Trisha said expect a thank you. Exactly. Okay, then yes, and men like that are dangerous to me, Queen. They are dangerous because they really think that they're supposed to get something, a return on the investment. That's what they think. But if you just went on a date with this person, they don't know you like that. So why do you think they need to give you anything? Like, sit down somewhere, honey. Okay, absolutely. D-Major said, yeah, that's a red flag. Okay. Anyway, honey, I'm out of here. I be trying to teach y'all lessons in life so y'all don't get caught up in the rigmarole. But I know some of y'all are nefarious and y'all still be doing all these foolish things. I'm not going to call names, but I can only imagine how some of you get down when nobody's looking. Okay? D Major. Let me see who else. Juju. No, not Juju. Juju's married. But oops, did I spill your tea, Juju? Okay, but some of y'all are nefarious, okay? Anyway, I'm out of here. High Kicks to your tea said $40. Okay? I mean, I'm just saying $5,000 and you're complaining because you didn't get what you thought you were going to get. Honey, you could have saved a whole lot of that money, okay? Please sit down somewhere. What is really going on here, honey? I don't have time for it. Juju said, okay, I'm out of here. Listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the broadcast. I will be back. Okay, I will be back in the morning with your morning wake-up call, probably around 10 to 12, somewhere in that time frame. Check the channel if you don't receive a notification, probably around 10 or 10:30, no less. Okay, and I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got